Uh,
Morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a nice, enjoyable, safe, successful weekend. Let's get the weekly meeting for the Shelby County Board of Commissioners going. This is Monday, October 6th, 2025. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes from the September 29th meeting. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve minutes for 9/29/2025.
Second.
A motion second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes passed 3-0. Next item on the agenda is approval of payroll. Entertain a motion to approve payroll.
Also move to approve payroll.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Aye. Payroll passes. Next item on the agenda. The assessor's office. Ms. Hill, you have bid date request for reassessment services.
This is Brian Cusmano, he's with Nexus, he's gonna explain something and then I will.
Yeah, I've got a short handout. I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about what we do before she gets to her part of it. As I understand, you guys are all newer, and you may not have been through the bidding process for this. Yeah, so my name is Brian Cusimano and I'm the COO of Nexus Group, and I'm also an attorney. And we are in a professional appraiser service is the technical term for what we do. We are a vendor and a consultant for about 20 counties in Indiana. And we've been working here in Shelby County for 20 years or more, for quite a long time, doing this work. The handout that I have just kind of summarizes the basics about our company, and then the summary of services section. That kind of tells you what we do. The process for assessing property, includes data collection, going out and looking at properties. It includes conducting a ratio study, which is a comparison of sales prices to assessments, and then making adjustments. It's also going out and collecting data on new construction homes or buildings. And this includes all property types. Here in this county, we work on residential, commercial, and exempt, all sorts of property. We do everything. And so the new construction piece would be going out, looking at new builds, also any permits, renovations, that sort of thing, and making adjustments to the property records, which then, ultimately translate into what the value of the property is for assessment purposes and ultimately taxation. The one thing that sort of distinguishes us from other vendors is that technical support piece, those bullet points. As I mentioned, I'm an attorney and I have two other attorneys that work with me. And what we do, we're working on setting all these values, and then as sort of a backboard for issues that come up, we defend those assessments, and we take those assessments on behalf of the assessor to the Indiana Board of Tax Review and to the Indiana Tax Court. Here in Shelby County, there are a few very large taxpayers, which, I myself have dealt with on a couple of occasions and tried to work out deals with, that sort of thing. Legal fees for that sort of work can obviously be significant, but our typical contract, that is included in what we charge. We don't ever charge any extras for any of that work. And then, of course, the last bullet point is there's some continuing education requirements for assessors. And we make sure to provide a significant chunk of that requirement, again, as part of our normal contract. And I think, as Denise had mentioned, this is the last year of our cycle. We're finishing up this cycle, and every 4 years, a new contract has to be executed. So I think she's just gonna mention that to you guys and what the next steps are for that. Did you have any questions for me?
I guess I just kind of got, so do you go back and reassess every home in Shelby County, or you just do that's not already been reassessed, or?
So the process is, so this contract that we're on right now is 4 years. And so every property gets looked at once in that 4-year cycle. So we're looking at a quarter of all the properties every year.
Okay.
With respect to the ratio studies, you guys have any type of QA or QI data that shows, what the metrics are with regards to whether or not this was successfully, brought forth a successful challenge for assessment value by the property owner, or
So
do you have any type of data that shows your assessment and then accuracy, essentially?
I mean, Lana can talk more to this, but at a high level, the ratio study, every property is in that, and the standard is it needs to be between 0.9 or 1.1, basically sale to ratio, or sale to assessment ratio. So we're typically shooting for 1.0. Do you want to add anything?
I'm Lana Boswell, I work with Brian, Nexus Group. And so essentially with the ratio studies, we follow the International Assessing Association ratio study standards. That is what's the Department of Local Government Finance has set forward as our metric. As Brian said, we have parameters that we statistically have to fall within for measures of median measures of assessment, and then equity within and amongst property classes. So every year we have to submit that ratio study. It has to be approved before any values can be rolled then to the auditor's office for taxation purposes, billing, so on and so forth. And this county has passed every year that we've done it. So, and we measure that, as Brian indicated, from what's happened in the previous calendar year of sales to what our current assessments are. So.
And, from there, anybody has the right to appeal, and we deal with all those.
And I think typically, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but we have less than, I don't know, a couple % of appeals per the total number of properties a year. So.
And you say from the appeal standpoint, your fees are built into the contract.
That's right.
A couple of challenges I can think of, and just curious as to how it's going to impact both the county and your guys' processes moving forward. But there's some new residential construction occurring, but a lot of there seems to be less transactions with regards to sales because of various factors, high interest rates, that kind of stuff. With the limited sales data, how does that affect you guys? And then the second question is changes in state government and taxation structures. How is that going to affect, or is it going to affect what you guys are doing for us moving forward?
You get the first part and I'll get the second.
Yeah, I mean, so we, within that ratio study standard, have a minimum number of market transactions or sales that we have to have to at least change a neighborhood factor or a market factor. So if there's less sales, obviously that comes to play. What we know, though, is that if the county in general is moving in a direction and there may not be enough sales in certain neighborhoods, it's typically still indicative of the fact that the entire county is moving in a certain direction. So we absolutely have to rely on a good sample size. We don't know yet what that's going to look like this year. We know that there are smaller or fewer transactions, but we also know that the transaction, what things are selling for are really not changing. So we anticipate things being pretty static going into the next year.
As to state law and legislative changes, I think again, having 3 attorneys on staff, we have a little bit of an advantage because I keep track of everything that's going on down there. Have my, thumb on the pulse and regularly talk to, some lobbyists that work down there about what's going on, what might be coming, how that's going to impact things. So I think that that's something we typically, if there can be things that change, obviously that directly impact what we do. Like there's special legislation for apartment owners, or buildings that have more than 4 units that just changed 2 years ago. And we made sure we were months in prep to make sure that we were doing that the right way. If we're talking more about like the tax and less than the assessment, more about the tax, I think ultimately that makes what we do more important. Anything that sort of constricts that and what that flow of income may be to the county, it makes it really important that you're keeping pace with the market, right? So, if you can only tax so much and it's based on that assessed value and your assessed value is not at the right level and it's not tracking with market, you're probably leaving revenue out, out on the table that you're not grabbing. So I think we take it, especially with the commercial side, I think that that's commonly where counties kind of fall behind, is that the commercial values are too low. At least that's just an observation we've had. And so, keeping up with that, we think it's just an observation. I don't know that it impacts what we do. We do it the same way either way. But it is something that I think makes it pretty important. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the time.
Thanks.
I would like to do the notice to bidders. And we asked to be published twice in the newspaper, so I'd like to publish it on October 11th, October 27th, or October 22nd, and then come back on the 27th to have the bids opened here. They're confidential bids, so they'll be opened here at the meeting.
This is a bid.
It's a confidential bid. We send out notice to bidders and it's published in the paper. And then when they make their bids, it'll come to the commissioner's office. But we can't open them until it's opened here at a public session. And then if the bidders ask, then we have specifications for them to follow on what needs to be included in that bid.
Entertain a motion to approve the requested notice and bid structure.
Move to approve.
Thanks, Denise.
Say it.
Have a motion second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Appreciate you guys' time.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, next up on the agenda is Dr. Varela, Plan Director, with a couple of items from the most recent Plan Commission meeting.
What do I have for ordinance numbers?
22 and 20.
Okay. This one's gonna be 2025, 2020, or 22, under Plan Commission case number RZ 2511, Hinkle rezoning. On September 23rd, 2025, the Plan Commission voted 8-0 to grant a favorable recommendation to rezone 1.476 acres of property located at 6076 East 850 South, St. Paul Noble Township, from A1 Conservation Agricultural to R1 Single Family Residential to allow for a one-lot simple subdivision. This one, the property owner had built a house on the family farm, and now they want to separate that onto their own lot, so. Forward.
To approve the Hinkle rezone.
Second.
A motion is second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Aye.
Case number or ordinance number 2523 under Plan Commission case number 2512, Anderson rezoning. On September 23rd, 2025, the Plan Commission voted 6-0 to grant a favorable recommendation to rezone 15.494 acres of property located south of and adjoining 8599 North 500 West Fairland Morrow Township from A1 Conservation Agricultural to A2 Agricultural to allow for a 3-lot simple subdivision. This one, there was some wooded acreage on the farm lot, and they just wanted to subdivide that off into 3 lots for building lots. It's been woods for at least 50 years, probably more.
So the 15 acres is gonna be divided up into,
3 lots.
it's gonna be basically 5, 5, and 5-ish.
Yeah, yeah, 2 along the road and 1 behind the 2 along the road. Yeah.
Family looking to that lives on 600 West, that their sons are wanting to build their forever homes, basically.
I'll move to approve the Anderson rezone.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0, 1 abstention. Thanks, Ezra. Next item on the agenda, have a right-of-way permit request, Great Plains Communication. This is on 825 West along 1150 South. Ben?
Yeah, no issues there. We're just trying to get back to the tower they built. This is a dead end, 1150 South, right there between 825 West and Interstate 65.
This is
All the new fiber to cell tower.
Yeah.
replacing the coax line and with fiber. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the right-of-way permit request.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0.
Holiday schedule.
Next up, have another right-of-way permit request. This is QC Communications installing fiber. Also along 850 West, but this is the 8500 block of North 850 West. This is south of Pleasant View, kind of by
Right by Brookfield Tree.
Field.
And they're just installing about 10 feet of fiber with a riser, I believe, to get internet access to Brookfield Transport.
No concerns. Entertain a motion to approve the right-of-way request along North 850 West.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative. Aye. Request passes 3-0. Next up, we have holiday schedule for 2026. The post schedule mirrors last year's with respect to federal holidays, New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Good Friday, Election Day for the primary is Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, fall election day is Tuesday, November 3rd. Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and second. All those in favor signify in the affirmative. Aye.
Any dates? Just first.
Seems like it's
15.
15. I'm not gonna sign it until my birthday's on here first.
Major Holder, any items for the sheriff's department? And highway.
One thing I just want to touch on, something that I thought about this weekend out driving. I want to remind people, we are still a very heavy ag community. There are a lot of tractors, a lot of combines, a lot of trucks out on the road this time of year. When at all possible, when safe, try to get over, give them some room. They all try to get over as much as they can, but it's big equipment. Tends to damage the sides of our roadways quite a bit when they have to abruptly veer off the road because traffic's not slowing down or giving them adequate room. I know unfortunately it's not always possible, but when possible and safe, try to remember, give them a little extra room. It will in turn help keep from roadways getting damaged. Just something I was thinking about over the weekend. A lot of farm equipment out, and unfortunately we have a lot of damage to roadways this time of year, unintentionally, of course, but if people can do their part to try to help give that equipment some room, it can really help save our roadways.
Good point.
I appreciate it, and it's particularly poignant considering a lot of guys are hustling right now to try to beat the rain, get as much of the crops in before we get some rain. But yeah, appreciate it. Dennis, any updates from EMA?
No, but we probably need to start looking into a burn ban again. There, as of last night, there were 19 counties that have enacted them throughout the state, mostly northwest, but starting to filter down this way. We had a field or had a median fire yesterday out on 121, but I'm not sure the others fires we've had so far, but I can find that out.
If we don't get some we don't get decent precipitation next couple of days, I know that tomorrow in particular looks like we might be in store for some rain, but we can revisit that if the projections are off. So, Donna, anything from HR? John, IT?
We just purchased time computer for refreshing. Like, over 300. Great product.
Mike, Veteran Services?
Actually, yes, I do. Michael Perkins, Veteran Service Officer. As you guys know, the federal shutdown, and I'd just like to let everyone know, I am sponsored by you guys, so I'll be working. As far as what is open and what is closed, I'll go over what's closed. The Regional Benefits Office, which is the in-person assistance, will be unavailable. The GI Bill and National Cemetery Application Assistance phone line, and then the Public Affairs and Outreach, including press and social media updates will be closed. What is open is still going to be the VA hospitals, the clinics, and the vet centers, healthcare appointments and hospital services, the call centers for the crisis line and My VA 411. And then, of course, compensation, pension, education, and housing benefits, claims, and payments will still go on uninterrupted for your monthly payments. And then the Board of Veteran Appeals and National Cemetery Burial Services will also remain operational. And if you guys saw, I do have the GDX numbers. It's a new format, so that's why I didn't blast you with it, because now instead of it being state, it's the entire country. So I have to redact some of that or parse it down, excuse me. But any questions about this?
I appreciate it, Mike, and, you know, just for public knowledge, the federal shutdown has impacted your office to a certain extent. I'd encourage anybody that has any questions with respect to any types of VA veterans issues to reach out to Mike to see if there are things that can be done during the shutdown to expedite delivery services. The only other like immediate impact that I think that we're having on county government is our Soil and Water Conservancy District was initially going to move temporarily to the county annex building because the building in which they are operating out of was affected by the federal shutdown, but they are able to continue working in that. So there's really been marginal impact on what we're doing operationally with respect to the shenanigans that are going on federally. But I'd encourage any resident that, you know, with respect to VA benefits and access the service to reach out to Mike to prevent, you know, any longer delay than necessary to access those services. So yeah, appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane, are we missing anything?
I don't think so.
Amy, John?
We just had a comment to thank Ben. Thank you, Ben. We appreciate it. When he was talking about the farmers,
Who's that from?
James Ramsey.
Oh.
Anybody in the audience or on Zoom? Hearing none, seek a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Adjourn, Drainage Board coming up.
I think we have it.
Oh,
You're safe, Jeff.
yeah, no drainage.
That's next week.
It's